Hi, my name is Mark Price Perry, and welcome to Business Driven PMO. When it comes to PMO setup and management, I have a set of convictions that's different from what I see advocated and practiced in the industry. And today, I'm here to talk about one of those convictions, the PMO Magic Quadrant. In my opinion, the project management community has a misguided view on how to set up and manage a PMO. Some of this misguided view is on account of those that weigh in with advice that happen to have a bias or a particular outcome they would like to see. This could be a project management training company that would like the PMO to sign up for their training program, or a tool provider that would like the PMO to implement their latest project portfolio management system, or perhaps a consulting firm that would like to provide billable consulting to the project management office to help them assess their skills, their capabilities, and to develop a plan to start the PMO. And a lot of the misguided advice within the industry isn't so much on account of a bias, but the irresistible urge to quickly identify and adopt the latest industry trend, buzzword, or fad. You know all the terms: the enterprise PMO, the next generation PMO, the value-driven PMO, the strategic PMO, the bimodal PMO, the agile PMO, and the list goes on and on. This is what I call putting a prettier cart before the horse. It's still advancing a solution before truly understanding the problem that the leadership team would like the PMO to solve. Enter the PMO Magic Quadrant. When leadership teams ask me for assistance in starting a PMO or course correcting an existing PMO, one of the first tools we use is the Project Management Office PMO Magic Quadrant. Let me tell you what it is and how it works. The PMO Magic Quadrant is a 2x2 analysis grid. The vertical axis represents a simple yes/no question. Does the Project Management Office have a leadership team determined and unanimously agreed to PMO mandate? Yes or no? And the horizontal axis has a similar yes/no question, and that is, does the PMO have practices and processes in place to achieve the PMO mandate? Now, the magic position is at the top right. This is where you have a leadership team determined PMO mandate and specific practices to achieve that mandate. How do you use the PMO Magic Quadrant? It's easy, and there's only one rule, but it's a very important rule, and that is, it's the leadership team that determines where the PMO exists on the analysis grid. Not the PMO manager and not a consultant, but the leadership team itself. They're the ones that have to determine, do we truly have a PMO mandate that's established by them and there's unanimous consensus for it? And do we truly have best practices and processes and methods to achieve the mandate? Now bear in mind, when we talk about best practices to achieve the mandate, we're not talking about PMBOK, Prince2, or Agile. We're not talking about how you go about managing a project. Those are very important processes and practices, but we're talking about the specific methods to achieve the end results that are expected of the PMO. And that's not going to be a project management process. I have used this Magic Quadrant tool with well over 100 leadership teams in talking about their project management offices. And I can tell you the experiences and outcomes are almost always the same. First, the leadership team has an epiphany. They have a stark realization that they really don't have a PMO mandate that's well established, agreed to by all the leadership team, and speaks to the problems to be addressed by the PMO, the value of addressing those problems, and then the measurable goals and objectives that serve as fulfillment of the mandate. And then second, though there's clearly best practices that have been put in place, they're not best practices that have anything to do with achieving a mandate. Again, they may be very important project best practices or agile best practices, but that's not the same as the methods and practices to ensure that the objectives of the PMO are being met. And the leadership team is also quick to recognize, especially for those leadership teams that are replacing a PMO manager or giving the PMO a second go at it, they realize that this is a leadership team responsibility. Sure, the PMO manager has a role to play, but the degree to which a PMO mandate is well established or not, that's really a leadership team responsibility. And when the leadership team steps up to that responsibility, it's very likely that the PMO manager will have success. And as a corollary, if the leadership team doesn't step up to that responsibility and the PMO manager is just left to do things with lukewarm support, that's when PMO execution difficulties begin to take root. As I often say, PMO firefighting is good, but PMO magic is better. The PMO Magic Quadrant. Use it with your leadership team. It'll help you have a better PMO. This has been a Business Driven PMO video. My name is Mark Price Perry. Until next time.